We are back with the second part to breaking patterns and conditioning. I'm Johnny Christ again, and I'm excited to give you guys this information to help you improve your life and to progress. So, the last video we talked about the 12 torments or the conditioning that takes place that literally holds you back. Well, there's 10 powers that we're going to discuss that will literally guide you forward to help you progress in life and to break that conditioning. So the first power is having the knowledge of what everybody calls God. I will say that this channel is not for it's not about religion. It's all about self-help, and it's about self-empowerment and putting you in the right mindset to where you can understand why things are happening. And it's the whole point is to bring clarity into the situations around you to where you can make better decisions to improve your daily outcome and your progression. So, like I said, the first power is having the knowledge of God. But what that essentially is the energy inside of us that literally is our consciousness. We are all connected by that same energy. There's this collective consciousness that it literally ties us together, and what people don't realize is we are all the same. You know, there's like race, color, sex, all of that. None of it matters. When it comes down to that, we're all human beings. We all have this amazing power to where we can make anything happen in the world that we want to. And I'm going to do another video to go in depth on that. But just like I said, the first power is having the knowledge that we are all the same. We're all connected by this collective energy. And that energy is so powerful. When you can shed that conditioning, that energy is going to start showing. Because I'm going to tell you this. There's two parts to us. There's soul and there's body. Body is in the physical aspect. Soul is in the spiritual aspect. You're either more body than soul, or you're more soul than body. And the whole thing is, you want to be more soul than body. And the reason why is life becomes easy. Nothing weighs you down. There's no depression. There's no anxiety. You're literally just moving away from that materialistic aspect that is just a trap. It's a trap that has no, because conditioning affects the body. It doesn't affect the soul. But what it does is it masks the soul. It masks your consciousness to where you hide. And you don't realize what's going on. It like makes you oblivious to everything. And you're like, why is this going on? Like, what can I do to change this? Well, you have the power. It's inside of you. You have to tap into it. The next power is the knowledge of joy. The whole point in life is to literally experience life. To have an amazing time. You know, how you have joy is to follow your passions. Most people don't know what their passions are. They go to work, they come home, they scroll through YouTube. They don't literally know what else to do because they don't know themselves. You have to get to know yourselves. Remember as a kid, every day you woke up, you knew exactly what you wanted to do. You go outside, you play with sticks because you had this imagination. What happens as adults? We're conditioned to go to work. We're conditioned to literally follow what society has deemed acceptable. No, only 5% of the world is actually living a life and fulfilling their dreams. The rest of the world is just following the same pattern, and they're struggling every day. So like, why would you follow the 95% of the world who have no clue of what's going on? You obviously should be following the 5%. Those people have mastered all these powers that are able to guide them to wherever they want to be at. They know how to fulfill themselves. They know exactly what they want to do every day. They know what they're into. You know, my passions, I like to surf, I like skateboard, I like nature walks. I'm a big musician. I'm in my music studio right now. I literally do whatever I want every day. And I'm not saying that you don't have responsibilities, but there's a time and place for everything. It's all about balance. And eventually, your passions can take off, and that's what you do for a living. That's what I'm doing for a living. I literally live the life I want because I know exactly what fulfills me. I'm not focused on the money aspect. I'm only focused on experiencing life. I'm focused on the process to get where I want to be at, and everything just works out because that's how it happens. The next one is joy. Not joy. Self-control. When you have a knowledge of joy and you understand your passions and you're experiencing life the way you want it, the self-control just happens naturally. You know, earlier we talked about in the last video how there's a lack of restraint, right? There's temperance, overindulgence. Self-control eliminates that. People aren't eating as much. They're not smoking as much. They're not drinking as much. Because when you are truly happy, why would you want to change your state? Because you're comfortable the state you're in. Because you're happy. You're living life. You're doing exactly what you want to do. That's the whole point. The next part is power against desire without effort. We mentioned it in the last video. That is righteousness. To not have unrighteousness, obviously you need to have righteousness, right? You need to learn how to control your life. To literally let those desires that dictate everything you do, when you're formulating your whole day around these desires so you can get them, you're suffering, right? Nobody wants to suffer. I don't even want to see you guys suffer. That's why I make these videos. The whole point is nobody deserves to suffer. Nobody has to suffer. And that's why you guys are here. The next one is, we talked about avarice in the last video. Greed, right? You have to start sharing with others. I don't know why, like literally, I don't know how people can have fun when they're doing everything by themselves and nobody else is able to experience that with them. That's lonely. I'm not saying you go out and do things for people because people need to build their own life. The whole thing is, if you don't build your dreams or your vision, somebody's going to hire you to build theirs, right? You need to build your dreams. You need to go after things that you want to go after. Obviously, there's going to be stepping stones, and you're going to help people build their dreams to get the knowledge to help you build yours. But put yourself in the right environment, because the people you hang out with, those are the people that are going to motivate you. Because if you want to be in that line of work, you got to learn from the best, right? Remember, like I said, 5% of the world's successful living the life they want to live. So why aren't you doing what they're doing? Because obviously, if they have the life you want to live, do what they're doing. But don't get caught up in the envy, right? Because we are not here to try to have what everybody else has. We want what we want to have. We just use them as stepping stones. But you don't screw people over, because that's not what I'm saying, because I know some people are thinking that. You'll figure it out. The next one is, after the greed goes, truth is going to come in. You're going to find your true self, right? When truth comes in, errors flee. Because you're not making terrible judgments on situations. Because when you're truthful with yourself and you're able to express yourself fully, you're going to start feeling good too. That's the next thing. We are all light in life, right? That consciousness, that's all inside of us, that ties us all together, that's light. That's soul. In life, we have to experience life. How many times have you gone outside and actually listened to like the wind or the birds, or you paid attention to like how the sun glows across the trees? You have to take a second and envision that it's mindfulness is what it's called. You have to, like right now I'm sitting in the chair. I can literally feel every aspect of this chair. I can feel the ceiling fan on me. Like I feel everything around me. I'm very sensitive to all the energy around me. It takes a while to get to that spot, but that's the whole point. The more you practice, the more you become better at it. You want to be able to feel everything around you. Because the more you can experience, the more you can feel, the better decisions you can make. Because in the last video, I talked about how your intuition, your gut feeling, how you feel, helps you make decisions. Well, when you become an expert at feeling, you become an expert at decision making. Once you do all that, there's no more darkness. Depression, anxiety, all that goes away. That darkness holds you back. When you're more body than soul, your life is consumed with darkness. When you're more soul than body, your light is consumed with light. After all this, there is rebirth. You awaken. This energy I have right now, this state I'm in, it happens through awakenings. And they're not just one. Every time you demolish a conditioning and you have a rebirth. Like you have to break that conditioning, and each conditioning there is a rebirth. There's 12 conditionings, right? You want to grow as an individual. I'm going to tell you this. I've been doing this for, I want to say 4 or 5 years. In my past, I had anxiety. I had depression. I was Baker acted. I want to say back in 2016. I was a military veteran. I had no idea what I wanted to do in life. I just started reading. One of the best books I ever read was The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. That guy taught me presence. Like literally, I was able to sit there, those thoughts inside my head, I was able to silence them. I'm going to do a whole video explaining those thoughts and how you silence them, because those thoughts are what holds you back. But first, we have to have an awareness of these conditionings, how to break them, and then that's the next step. Thank you for your time.